This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.
It's Thursday, May 14, and time for the Barbados Today morning update. I'm Fernella Wedderburn, so glad you can join us. Good morning. We begin with news that waste haulers and truckers are taking their protest action over the implementation of the $25 tipping fee to another level. It's day 4 of action, but members of the private group who attempted to move a convoy through the streets of Bridgetown on Tuesday, and one hauler announcing that his business will not be removing waste from the Queen Elizabeth Hospital until the fee is scrapped, did not say what the next move would be, following a late-night strategy meeting in Warrens. Just yesterday, Environment Minister Dr. Dennis Lowe made it clear that the group would not be allowed to hold the country to ransom, while indicating that his government intends to stick to an agreement they made with the 90-day trial period agreement with him last week. The minister also instructed the Sanitation Services Authority to take care of any waste left behind by the protesting truckers. However, Murray Chandler, the owner of Polyseptic Services and Equipment Rentals Limited in St. Philip, says the move by him and his colleagues are justifiable.
If we introduce this tax now, we don't do anything about what's going to happen next week. So if we do not change this now, we are going to have a problem. Because then every day a new tax come online, what do we then do? Because if you realize it, this tipping fee does not enhance Mr. Jose's business or Mr. Polly's business. It's for the people. The bottom line is we could easily pass it to the people. But do the people have this money? No. And it's not correct because the taxpayers pay money for sanitation.
Meantime, the Barbados Private Sector Association is calling on the two sides to return to the bargaining table until the issue is resolved. The BPSA, which met with the haulers yesterday, also urged that the status quo that existed before the impasse be reinstated until such time as a mutually accepted resolution through consultation with all stakeholders is achieved. Barbadians are being challenged to make the country extraordinary. It comes from Chairman of a Republic Bank, Ronald Hadford, addressing the 5th annual general meeting of the Barbados Employers Confederation. Hadford maintained that Barbados is desperately in need of constitutional and public sector reform to move to the next level of development. The noted regional banker did not mince words as he called on the private sector and citizens to hold the government to account. He is also of the view that a people's initiative should be implemented in the country.
At present, Barbados is unable to reach its full potential in renewable energy as there are no regulations in place to guide the development of independent power producers. A people's initiative will also promote reform of government's procurement procedures. As the current procurement process tends to favor party in power supporters, regardless of which party is in power, citizens of Barbados should be allowed to vote on a proposed piece of legislation for procurement procedures instead of allowing the government and the opposition to debate over such matters.
The relationship between government and the University of the West Indies is in good shape. Word of this from Prime Minister Frondel Stewart on the heels of his very recent public spat with former Principal Sir Hilary Beckles over tuition costs. He gave the assurance following a courtesy call by the new principal of the Keyville campus, Professor Udin Barito, at his official residence last week. During the meeting with the new UE head, the Prime Minister expressed his regret that some issues between his government and the institution over the past few months had been played out in the media. But he made it clear that his government is committed to the success of the university, will facilitate its work and assist it in achieving the highest standards in Barbados and the Caribbean. Registrar of the Supreme Court, Barbara Cook Arlene, is deeply concerned about what she says is a new drug being used by young people in Barbados, and she's calling on parents to be extremely vigilant about the paraphernalia that children are bringing home.
There's a new trend I'm really concerned about. Have you heard of hookah? That's a pen with vaporized water in it, and children are buying it, and they're using it and they're smoking it. That is just the beginning of a new habit, not just going to cigarettes, but going on to marijuana and to harder stuff. It's a new trend we have in Barbados. We find this the 14 and 15 girls who are buying it, and the parents will see a pen coming home, very pretty bottom, lighting up, not realizing that it is really something that the children are not being involved in. So I'm very concerned about that aspect that's happening in Barbados right now.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Farley Hill, Crane Beach, fried chicken at Pug's Bar. All parts of Barbadian life that some might know, but others don't. So join me, Katrina Marshall, as I go about town and across country, peeking into tucked away districts and liming with the people who bring them to life. About town and across country, coming soon to Barbados Today, news you can trust.
In regional news, we head to Guyana, where the opposition coalition, a partnership for national unity and the Alliance for Change, has given the Election Commission a 24-hour deadline to make a statement on the outcome of Monday's poll. This as the country and the rest of the region anxiously await the result. The APNU and the AFC made the demand following a 1-hour meeting with GCOM officials yesterday evening, following calls by the ruling People's Progressive Party Civic for a recount of ballots in all 10 regions across the country. And finally, on the international scene, the European Commission rolls out a new blueprint for dealing with the migration crisis, including a controversial plan for national quotas. More in this BBC report.
These are pictures sent today from HMS Bulwark. More than 400 migrants rescued this morning, 40 miles off the Libyan coast. But while everyone wants lives to be saved, there's much less agreement about how to cope with asylum seekers once they reach Europe. The European Commission is trying to change that.
It's not acceptable for people around the EU to say, yes, stop people dying in the Mediterranean, and at the same time remain silent when the question is raised, what should happen to these people once they were saved in the Mediterranean.
And on that note, we come to the end of our Barbados Today morning updates, but we'll be back again this afternoon. Until then, remember, log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, our email updates, and like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on iZoomi Media, that's in bus terminals or screenplay, that's in a supermarket or gas station near you. We're also on Channel 101 on 9TV and a Mix 96.9 FM. There you can get all the latest news and sports. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Have a wonderful day.
This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.